Let this video serve as a friendly reminder to not talk about media with people who don't know what they're talking about. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were basically saying that Dragon Ball Z's first 10 episodes had no substance, in their opinion. Let's start off with what the word substance means. It basically means the contents of something, which, depending on the context, can mean the contents of a chemical compound, the contents of what's happening in a story, this, that, and the third. So to say Dragon Ball had no content, the substance was purely a lie, and I was very confused on why he kept trying to harp on it that it was his opinion. Substance cannot be an opinion. And I'm not trying to use this video to call him out, but I'm using it as an example of many times in my life where I'm for some reason forced to have conversations or debates, I guess, with people who don't know necessarily what they're saying, and they try to brush it off as, oh, it's just my opinion, or it's been the third, and more of just like the anime community as a whole. I'm not going to chalk this up as, oh yeah, people just need to start reading books again, but I do believe that is a big factor in it, because I believe if you are for some reason talking about any piece of media requires you to even understand just one hidden theme, if not multiple, I think you need at the very minimum an 8th grade reading level. And with literacy rates declining at almost an all-time high, it's very hard to come across somebody who can do just that well, which is basically comprehend something at a 8th grade level or above. And the reason why I'm specifically saying 8th grade is because, at least when using the specific example of Dragon Ball in itself, a lot of the time it is very much easily interpreted, and at the very minimum, you can at the very least understand what is going on in the first 10 episodes of something if you're paying attention to it, especially when they're thoroughly explaining it. And I watched the first 10 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. I'm just gonna keep using this example to further prove what I'm saying about the general concept of conversation as a whole. But when I watched the first 10 episodes of Dragon Ball Z as an elementary schooler, I understood within the first 10 episodes, Goku's brother came to Earth and kidnapped his son. That was the first episode. The second episode, that nigga Goku dies because of Piccolo trying to kill him and Raditz at the same time, and successfully doing so. The next 8 episodes were basically the aftermath of what happened after Goku died, what's going on, what's going to happen next, because Vegeta and Nappa were announced to come to the planet via Raditz's scouter. And the next 10 episodes is them setting up the training arc that they're going to be going through, because they know that these guys are so much stronger than the person they just struggled to beat, with their strongest fighter out of the game. That's not even really a crazy spoiler. That's literally the first 5 to 10 episodes of the show. How one could assume there's nothing happening in the show when it's blatant in your face. Niggas die, they're in a training arc. It's pretty simple, actually. And I'm not even trying to say this to like discredit the person's like intelligence that I'm talking about. I'm just noticing this pattern with a lot of people that I'm talking to. And a lot of people might try to say this is like some intellectual elitism or a high horse, but I genuinely think that people just need to start reading books again, and the smaller ones. Like, you need to be able to understand what you're reading, and I don't think that people are understanding what they're reading, or in this case, what they're watching anymore. The same thing can be said about a plethora of different anime. Like, I'm trying to think of another good example. Movie Weapons is another good example of this. For some reason, the people that I have talked to have been on 2 spectrums. One, people saying, oh, this movie is really fucking good, or this movie is really fucking ass. Now, both opinions are valid, but the reasonings for them differ. The movie was confusing to watch, which, if you're understanding what's going on in the movie, which is pretty clearly laid out actually, they're literally breaking apart the same single couple of days of this entire mob of children being missing from this general town, from different perspectives. It tells the perspective from the cop, it tells the perspective from the woman that the entire town is accusing of these children going missing because it all came from her classroom. she was a teacher. It came from the perspective of the parents who were actually involved in the story. It came from the perspective of this random little kid who happened to also be involved. They even got the perspective of a drug addict who was a witness to the actual scenario, to the actual culprit, right? And this isn't even spoilers, because you know it's very explained within the first 5 to 10 minutes. I wouldn't even say explained, shown. And that's what another thing I want to break down. I think that people don't understand that show and tell is the most basic tool for literary anything. Sometimes when it comes to a TV show or a movie or something like that, a lot of the time, if you're paying attention to what's going on screen, they don't need to have the dialogue explaining it. They don't need to have a narrator explaining it. That is for very specific literary techniques, and I'm very confused on why people are not able to piece this together. I'm very confused why people don't know what literary techniques are. It's not like, I didn't pay attention in school in elementary, so I just happened to miss this chapter of what this is. No, this is stuff that has been reinforced time and time and time and time and time again. How the hell are you passing school and you don't know what a fucking motif is? How are you passing school and you don't know what a metaphor is? How are you passing school when you don't know how to spell the word simile? We need to start reading again. It's getting bad. It's really getting bad. Because what do you mean? It's not even just affecting movies and TV shows and manga. It's affecting fucking hip hop and other music forms where it has lyrics as the basis of their genre. Mostly just hip hop, R&B, and things of that nature. But it'll be people being like, oh yeah, I can't listen to R&B nowadays. Everything is so toxic. My nigga, in the 1960s, they were writing songs about cheating on their wives. Oh, I can't listen to R&B or hip hop nowadays. It's too sexual. Marvin Gaye had a whole 8-track album where 3 of those tracks had random sex scenes basically imported into the fucking album. It's getting to a point where my confusion isn't necessarily how people are coming to this conclusion, because now I realize something. I know how you are coming to the conclusion. You're coming to the conclusion because you don't know basic literary analysis. You don't know the literary analysis tools. You don't pay attention to shit. Your attention span is fucked, and everybody's memory is cooked. People don't know how to, I'm not even gonna say that I'm perfect in this either. I'm kind of brain rotted too. But I genuinely think, matter of fact, if you're watching this video, turn the phone off and open a book, something, read a news article, read how to learn a new language. And here's the thing, if you're going to be somebody who only speaks one language, I think it's best for you to master that one language at the very minimum. And that's sounding like a very tall task, but that's a genuine concern that I have. People don't even understand the own language that they speak. They don't understand dialects. They don't understand what a majority of very simple words actually mean. It's not even crazy words that niggas don't use. I'm trying to find an example. I can't right now. Matter of fact, let's go with Merriam-Webster's fucking word of the day. This isn't the word of the day for today, but it works. Vertiginous, right? It's not like I'm using the word vertiginous just randomly and expecting niggas to know what it means. No, bro, it'd be simple shit like substance, gang. They wouldn't be able to tell good writing from bad writing. It's something catering to me in my 4-year-old brain. This is just genuinely what I'm noticing from the entire internet and from the entire people that I interact with in real life. Grocery stores, libraries, Barnes and Noble. You would think that the people who read the most would have better literary analysis, but it's getting to a point where even them niggas are starting to deal with a couple of issues. So now I'm starting to understand that I'm starting to come to the conclusion that obviously this was very much by design. America wanted this. They wanted the education system to fail people. They wanted this, but even ignoring that for a split second, it's very obvious people need to read again. Just start off small, man. Read your newspapers, read your local newspapers. You'd be surprised what you can read for free. Read the back of a cereal box, my nigga. Something. Because why? You shouldn't be able to come to these conclusions without, at the very minimum, being able to articulate yourself in the correct way. because I know people who are saying that Kagurabachi, another perfect example, people conflating Magneto with fucking Malcolm X. Not a good example, buddy. Those people are not the same. When you watch the video, like the video. I have a Twitch. Go down there and follow that. I will be putting that in the description as well. But yeah, we got some new media that we've watched recently. There's some videos gonna be made about those too. So we'll get back to those. In the meantime, y'all have a good day.